In the year 2025, we finally got wind that the mythical Nintendo Switch 2 was actually going to be released. Though teased by just about every news source, reputable or otherwise, Nintendo announcing the news themselves was the first time that we could actually sit down and excitedly expect the evolution of our childhood. April 2nd rolls around and there it was, the Nintendo Switch 2 Direct, featuring our first ever glimpse at the Switch 2 and footage of one of the most hyped sequels in history, Mario Kart World. And let me tell you, I was so goddamn excited watching this that my BPM damn near hit the 4 digits. But on the back of unveiling the entire console and their largest and most ambitious Mario Kart title to date, Nintendo decided to follow it up with a little game called the Nintendo Switch 2 Welcome Tour, which was basically a demo of sorts that would let you walk around a giant Switch 2 where you could learn neat facts about the console and play random tech demos and minigames, alongside talk to NPCs that were, I guess, just there too. Nintendo isn't new to doing something like this. Wii Sports was a wonderful introduction to the motion controls on the Wii, and Nintendo Land used the Wii U's screen to create fun and unique minigames. But the Welcome Tour felt different. Gone is the charm of Mii's, resort islands, and Nintendo characters, and in their place we get this. Hold on, zoom in. Hold on, further. Is this game made for eagles? What the hell am I looking at? The Nintendo Switch Welcome Tour is one of the most jarring and outright confusing games I've ever played in my entire life. In a world where Nintendo dominates the rating E for everybody, they may have actually created the first game ever made for nobody. Whew. Those are bars. And to explain why and get you up to speed, I would like to talk you through my experience. But before doing so, I do want to clarify that the only reason I'm even making this video is because, believe it or not, this is a paid video game. It's not free, nor does it come bundled at all. You have to go out of your way to spend $10 on this. And for that specific reason, I will judge this game like I spent $10 on it. Let's begin. As someone who spends way too much time playing video games, I'm always looking for something short and fun to do in between all of these massive playthroughs and ranked grinds. Sometimes I just want to have fun without worrying about an expedition, which is why I'm so excited to talk about today's sponsor, the Rubik's WOW Cube. This thing has 8 separate computers and 24 screens to create the next generation of an 80s classic. There's pre-installed games to choose from like Space Invaders and Cut the Rope, and it also comes with smartphone connectivity. So you could download more games, receive updates, and personalize your experience. The games are all actual brain busters too, like 3D mazes or having to reconnect some piping. So if you're bad at cubing like I am, even the basic levels are gonna take you like 20 minutes. It's durable, drop-proof, and obviously portable, so you could take it to have some fun and brain-busting gaming on the go. Thank you so much, WowCube, for sponsoring the video. Be sure to check them out from my personal link in the description below and get started on racking your big brain today. Our journey begins with a kind of beautiful cutscene showing off the Nintendo Switch 2 theme park, I think? I'm actually gonna enjoy this a lot. We spawn into the overworld HUD of this game, which is a gigantic Nintendo Switch 2. And like Nintendo, why are you copying PlayStation? Astrobot already did that. And like PlayStation, why are you copying Nintendo? Mario Kart Double Dash already did that. For the sake of not being confusing, I'm gonna explain everything that happens in the first baby section of the game so that we can get a gist of how this is supposed to operate. Then we can zoom out and talk about a much larger picture, if there is one. So I present to you Zone A, the left Joy-Con. We run up to the literal first thing we see, and it is a minigame. As you can imagine, all of the minigames are built around a specific showcase of one of the Nintendo Switch 2's features. This one, for example, has to use the HD Rumble 2, aka the vibrations in the controller. For this minigame, you just drag your mouse controller around the map until you feel the strongest possible vibration. There it is. Right there seems good. Ooh! What does that mean? Is that good? Did I win? Woo! But I need sub 20 to get the second medal. Can we pause the video real quick? Zoom in, please. Let me see here. Okay, I am less than a centimeter off, and that's not enough to get me the second medal? Are they training me to be a surgeon? We try again, and this time get lucky and basically pinpoint directly on it, only to find out something jarring. That is near perfect! Whoa! That's cool! Why did I get is there a secret third medal in all of these? I don't gotta do that, right? We'll talk more about the insane difficulty of these medals a little bit later, but for now, let's keep going. We continue onward on our quest to figure out what the hell is going on, and head towards our second minigame. This one makes you use the mouse controls in order to play through a bullet hell, and it is not an easy bullet hell at all. This isn't a playground level, dodge a few spike balls while scrolling TikTok on your phone bullet hell. It is about as hard as dodging bullets in real life. I think my issue is I gotta not, ooh god, I gotta not put myself in situations where I have to be too accurate. Oh my god, I said that and then got absolutely trashed on. Wow, this is hard. Wow, I did not expect this. We're already getting owned? Yeesh. Locking in. Going left. Okay. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. What is the gold? What is the gold on this? Is there like a super secret mega gold medal? There is, right? I don't know what gold is, and I don't think I want to know what gold is. We don't need to do the super secret third medal, right? It's gonna be like 45 seconds. Screw that, man. When you beat a minigame, you unlock the harder version of said minigame, which is kind of funny because the easy version of most minigames are actually kind of hard if you're trying to get all of the medals. The harder versions tend to throw a wrench in the mix to spice up the overall challenge, like in this one, now you have to dodge while collecting stars. And in the vibration one, you have to search vertically and horizontally, which is a lot harder than it looks. Sure, these are about as deep as an early 2000s Newgrounds Flash game, but it's something, okay? After finagling with 2 minigames and failing a decent amount of times, we finally get to explore the overworld to see what's going on. The Nintendo Switch 2 world is booming with NPCs. None of them are really doing anything, they don't move and barely emote, although that's probably just me not being able to see them because everything is 400 yards away. They all basically speak like walking tutorials or paid ads, either telling you how to use a function or glazing how good the hardware is. And when I say glazing, I mean glazing. Seems like the wear ain't the only thing hard around here. Looks like you can learn some stuff about the Nintendo Switch 2. I'm gonna read up about it so you two can go ahead without me. Man, that is insane. It is insane to me that the mythos of this game is that people went to Nintendo Switch 2 World as a theme park to learn about the Nintendo Switch 2. It is such an insane concept when you think about it. Speaking of hardware, as you walk around the map, every single piece of the console has a stamp for you to collect, which basically means you have to walk near it and search around until a podium pops up and press A. Every single piece of the console has one, and there are a lot of pieces to this console. We walk up to an information desk, which is cutely under the left analog stick. The person on the left lets you invert your camera controls. The person on the right is a lost and found where you can turn in items. And the person in the middle's job is to tell you what the person on the left and right do. This reads like a comedy. It's so funny. We walk around the analog stick and there we see it. A booth with the word quiz on it. And these booths make up about 95% of the game. Interacting with these makes a few pages spawn, which you have to read in order to take a quiz. The problem is that these quizzes weren't made to be fun at all. Let me show you. HD Rumble 2. Take a look here. These are the Rumble 2 parts for the Nintendo Switch 2 console. They're different from HD Rumble parts from the Nintendo Switch console. In fact, these parts are so close to Question number 1. That is the HD Rumble 2, man. And you gotta say 2 because it's not the number 1. Duh, it's the Switch 2. What are you doing? It shakes from side to side. Did I win? Shoestring base, you know, it can be either strong or weak. Whoa, it can. That's so badass. In the Joy-Con 2 controllers, what are the HD Rumble 2 parts attached to? The plastic on the back. Perfect score. Amazing. From the visual design to the sound effects, if it weren't for the Nintendo Switch 2 being plastered around every single question, I wouldn't be able to tell you that this was a Nintendo product, which is weird. It almost feels like an employee training video that goes on for 6.5 hours. And from my own experience, when I used to work at a Pep Boys, I can tell you that their employee training video was more fun than this one. And they do make up a large majority of the game, so I'm gonna do a big spiel about them in a few minutes and then probably never mention them again because I like you guys and I don't want to put you through that. We continue to roam around and press on random objects hoping to find stamps, and once we collect all of them, we unlock the next area. Hooray! But before heading there, we find a tech demo. These are a lot rarer and aren't really a mini game at all, they're just tech demos. This tech demo is to show how the rumble in the controller makes the Joy-Cons feel like maracas, which I guess is kind of cool. And now that we've done our first tech demo, minigame, quiz, and stamp collection, you basically understand every single objective in the game. You collect stamps to unlock areas, you collect medals from minigames and tech demos to unlock harder minigames, and you do quizzes to check them off a list and finish the game. Technically, if you just want to see all of the areas, you can just collect all of the stamps and not interact with the game that you paid for, but that's kind of silly. So I decided that I was going to do all of it. Well, not the triple medals because I don't hate myself. So now that we finished up the first location of the game, we're gonna speed things up. The next location is a Switch screen itself, which in a cruel twist of fate has ice physics for some reason. I ate it! And it's like, OSHA, what are you doing? This is a theme park and it's dangerous. There are 16 total stamps to collect here, which you basically just get by running around the perimeter and mashing the A button. A very interesting and weird thing I want to say about the stamp collecting is that they aren't really stamps. In just about every other video game where stamp collecting is a thing, you get a physical image or something you can look at or use later in some menu or another. But in this game, you don't. I'll admit, that's kind of nitpicking though. The minigames and tech demos in this section are really annoying because, number one, they aren't really games at all. This one you have to guess the frame rate of an item on screen. I've played Minecraft with shaders. I've already experienced this. And this one you have to be connected to a 4K display in order to even play the game. And I wasn't. So f me. This minigame right here is using the Switch 2 stand to correctly guess an angle, which is such a laughably boring idea.
You're guessing the angle?
Yeah. This is the kind of stuff you do when you go to the bathroom and forgot your phone, so you start trying to read the labels on the shampoo bottle to pass the time. But the funniest one was this tech demo right here, which tells you verbatim to turn on a vacuum cleaner and record your voice to show you how the high-tech Switch 2 microphone will pick up your voice even if you're in a noisy room. And check this out. And now I'm gonna talk normally. I'm gonna hit record first off, and as I'm recording, there's a vacuum cleaner going off on my phone. Let's see how good that sounds.
As I'm recording, there's a vacuum cleaner going off.
Now, let's talk about the quizzes. I'm gonna try to get this out of the way in one big rant, so I'm sorry for this. I genuinely don't understand who these quizzes were made for. Quizzes are something that have existed in Nintendo games for longer than a lot of us have been alive. From Mario is Missing to Pokemon Stadium, these have been around. The difference here, though, is that the quizzes aren't fun at all. They are quite literally just standardized tests about things you probably shouldn't care about unless you were Plankton trying to steal the Nintendo secret formula. It's not Pokemon trivia. It doesn't use Super Mario and put him in precarious spots where he has a metaphorical reason to use the information. It's straight up just about metal and bones and information you either already know or shouldn't be learning from this anyway. There's a quiz about the Nintendo Switch 2 camera that tries to explain how darker surroundings will make the picture blurrier, and like anyone with a phone would know that. I don't know who that info is for. Did you know that screens use a bunch of dots to show pictures? Did you know that HDR images are brighter in certain areas? Did you know that more frames equal a smoother picture? It may sound like I'm being a little mean about this, but this game lasts between 6 to 7 hours, and about 90% of it is this. God forbid you get a question wrong because you accidentally said the Switch 2 uses Duralumin instead of, extra super Duralumin. And whenever you get a quiz wrong, now you have to reread the section you got wrong, which can be up to 18 pages of sometimes unskippable and very slow animations just to get the correct answer for the quiz. Or you could do what I did and keep guessing. The quizzes are variable in difficulty as well, which is kind of funny. There are quizzes that I passed after closing my eyes on the information boards just to see if I could use context clues and eliminate actually wrong answers to get the W. Hilariously, there are also quizzes I passed without reading the questions, by just guessing words that sounded correctly. A lot of the choices given here are actually really wrong. The speakers are definitely not accurate because they are filled with water, nor are they stationed in the Switch using pieces of bread. All in all, these quizzes just aren't fun. Okay, quiz rant over. We get to the second Joy-Con, and for the most part, I do want to say that the models look pretty cool, but I will never understand the point of not using anything fun or branded, and instead using ant-sized avatars with no discerning features at all. Nintendo really is the owner of my childhood, but it almost feels like this game was made for Nintendo without having the license to use Nintendo characters. The next minigame is called the Speed Maze, where you have to drag your mouse to avoid an electric wall and get into the hole, like a complicated version of Operation. And even here, they could have made the ball like Mario on a Lakitu and made the walls Bowser's Castle on fire or something. Also, to get the second medal in this game, you have to get to the end of the map in 2.5 seconds, and I couldn't do it. It's hard as hell. I can't even imagine how fast the third medal would have to be, but my goodness. There's a tech demo here which shows you how many noises the rumble could make in the controller, which is okay. I kind of feel like this game was made for like a Best Buy or GameStop display case that kids would walk by and use in order to be hyped up about the product that they want to buy. But when you already own it, it's like getting an ad for something you have. The next section is going inside the controller itself, which is kind of cool, and it even has a downstairs, which is also kind of cool. There's a minigame here where you have to use the mouse controls to put a ball into a hole, and it's fine, I guess. The tech demo lets you see side-by-side comparisons of 360p and 1080p upscaling, which would have blown me away in like 2007. At this point, we've done both the Joy-Cons, the inside of the right Joy-Con, and the screen. So of course, that means that we're almost done with the game, right? Wrong! We still have the inside of the left Joy-Con. Duh! Oh, never mind. I guess we're going to check out the Joy-Con strap. Before you ask, yes, there are quizzes about the rope and the stitching on the rope of the Joy-Con strap. Yeah. Tech demo here is to saw a tree, I guess. I haven't mentioned this until now, but the tech demos have little objectives you have to finish before you get the medal. You can't just saw the tree, okay? You have to saw it slower, or else. This minigame here is just Osu, where you have to break targets by clicking as fast as possible, but if you misclick, you lose. And again, these medal times are damn near Olympian. With this section done, we can surely wrap up the other controller, right? Wrong! The dock! The dock itself gets its own section. What's the minigame gonna be? Disconnecting the power from the wall? Oh, the tech demo here is just a voice changer. And there's a ton of quizzes with such awesome facts like the Nintendo Switch 2 power cable is thinner than the one you use for the Nintendo Switch 1. And did you know that you could disconnect part of the cable from the power block? Wow, looking at it in real life, I would have never guessed that. There's another tech demo here where you have to use both the Joy-Cons to catch water, and a mini game where you have to find a pixel on a 4K screen. Did I mention that there's quizzes? It seems like we're breezing through this pretty fast, but I want you to know that this section alone had 23 minutes worth of quizzes, and that's without me failing at all. For those of you who have been paying very close attention throughout this entire video, you may have noticed that this slide is the exact same as a quiz we took earlier. This section also features my favorite NPC in the entire game. So that's what the back of the dock is round. Are you even listening to me? Is this couple arguing? Why would they put an arguing couple inside the tech demo? Why did they put that in the game? I want to learn their story. Please don't talk to me about rope stitching again. The next zone is the Switch 2 camera area, which is just as boring as you think it is. There's an emoji minigame you can play by connecting your Switch 2 camera, but an actual cool thing is that you can use any camera just fine as long as you can connect it, which is awesome. Thank you, Nintendo. There's a minigame here which has nothing to do with the camera, where you have to touch a covered image using the vibrations in the controller and detect what the shape is in. I know it looks bad, but I enjoyed this one. I don't know, maybe it was the reprieve from all the quizzes we just had to do, or maybe I was trying to protect myself from the quizzes coming, but I played this one a lot longer than the others. And with that section done, we could finally head into the left Joy-Con. I think the developers kind of knew they were overstaying their welcome here because there's almost nothing in it. 9 stamps, a quiz, and a coloring minigame where you can rotate the Joy-Con to change the angle of your paintbrush. Again, I don't know why, but I had a lot of fun with this one. And downstairs, there's another minigame. Oh boy! You get to play a match 2 game where you have to hear the controller rumble and match the sounds. Maybe it's Stockholm Syndrome, but these minigames have been pretty good as of late, I'll be honest. By far the best zone in the game. So now that we've done the left and right Joy-Cons inside and out, the strap for the Joy-Cons, the screen itself, the Nintendo camera, and the dock, surely we're getting close, right? Wrong. New section. We're going to the Joy-Con grip. And would you look at that, there's 2 more attachments in the distance. Dear heavens. There's a balloon popping minigame here which uses 1 mouse control and 1 regular control, which is cool in theory because it's a pseudo keyboard and mouse situation, but it does feel kind of awkward. Still, cool as hell. I don't know how yet, but people are going to use this to exploit aim assist in video games. I just know it. There's a paint scraping minigame here, which is, honest to God, one of the hardest things I have ever done. No matter which way I stroked it, hold on. No matter which kind of strokes I tried, hold on. No matter which motions I used to scrape the paint off, it was never enough to even get close to the second metal. And I'll admit that I'm not in the best shape right now, but it was tiring as hell too. The Joy-Con grip is massive, so finding the stamps here is actually kind of a pain, especially since there's so few, and I'm not even going to talk about the quizzes. Next up, we have the Pro Controller 2, which I actually love in real life. It's a comfortable controller, it feels great. I was actually excited for whatever minigame this place would have because I own this accessory and expected them to do something pretty cool with it. Instead, they just make you press a combination using the buttons on the back of the controller. Little rats. Quick aside here, but there's a decent amount of people at the accessory locations that are very clearly there to make the player want to purchase the accessory if they don't have it. Like one guy just says he wishes his children would ask for the steering wheel accessory so that he could use it too. The next zone is a steering wheel land, which has a driving minigame where you have to tilt the controller to make it do a sideways wheelie and dodge things. It's pretty hard. It's not that precise, but it was like 3 a.m. when I shot this, so maybe I was just tired. Before you ask, because I know some of you will, yes, they cover the magnets in plastic, which is specifically less than 0.3 millimeters thin, in order to have them strong enough to keep the Joy-Con nestled in place. Just want to get that out of the way for those of you who were gonna ask that. With all the accessories completed, we unlock the final section of the game, the inside of the Nintendo Switch 2 screen. And I shit you not, this ladder scene hit me harder than discovering the entire underworld map in Elden Ring. Just look at this reaction. Wow. Wow. There are like 7 quizzes in here. Dear God, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 quizzes! There are 12 quizzes in here! Bro! That is intense, bro. Now, I want you all to know that up until this point, I have been playing this game for 4 hours. This section alone took me 2.5. And there are only 2 mini-games here. One of them, which you have to do a weird swimming motion with the controls in mouse mode, and another where you have to fit shapes into holes. I think I spent about 3 minutes in both of these combined. Meaning for the rest of the 2.5 hours, I was just taking quizzes that were about as fun as a standardized test. You completed all the quizzes? Yes! Yes! God, that was like 6 hours of quizzes. Oh my God, that was genuinely like 6 hours of quizzes. My God, it feels so good to be done with that. Oh my God, thanks for playing, it says. Bro said thanks for playing. Playing what? Finally, after all of that legwork was done, we open a downstairs area, which leads us into the final zone, the processing unit. And when you talk to the woman at the center, she gives you something you've always wanted. A 13-question quiz that doesn't tell you which of the answers you got wrong, so if you forgot literally anything in this game, you would have to go back through all of the unskippable quizzes and read them again to get the information, without knowing which page it was. Genuinely, quite awful stuff. I am a huge fan of Nintendo. Wii Sports was one of the most fun games I ever played as a child. And Nintendo Land is still a wonderful experience to whip out with your friends. Which is why I'm so shocked at how bad the Nintendo Switch 2 Welcome Tour actually was. It may be recency bias, but as someone who has played a decent amount of bad games on this channel, this may in fact be the worst one. Sure, some of the minigames were fun, but that enjoyment is so short-lived when you realize that you're gonna spend the next 2 hours of your life taking standardized quizzes. I realistically would give this game a 1 out of 10 if I could, but as an optimist, I always believe that things can get a little bit worse. So I'll give it a 2 out of 10. I can't believe I'm saying these words out loud, but if you want me to 100% this game, just leave a comment that says, "Scooch, please 100% the Welcome Tour. It's a very fun game, and I think you deserve it." And if enough of you do that, I will come back and get all of the hard-ass medals. Thanks for watching!